front row here, and then we'll go to the young lady in the back. Go ahead, sir, right here.
Travis Wells, WDBJ. Kevin, can you put into some kind of perspective 400 starts? Does it feel like you've been doing this long enough to make 400 starts?
Is that this week?
Yeah, 400 starts.
Okay. Yeah, you know, it piled up pretty fast. Obviously, it's, you know, the first few years, the first year was what it was. The second, third, fourth, fifth year, you know, those weren't exceptional years. '03 was okay, but I feel like over the last really 3 or 4 years, we've kind of got everything together, and I think you know, with all the race teams and everything going together this year at Richards, it kind of feels like a lot of the pieces have fallen together over the past 3 or 4 years, and getting that stability and comfort level and understanding where Richard is as a team owner and a person, and where I am as a person and as a driver. You know, changing a lot of things within the organization. So there's been a lot of change, and I feel like it's, you know, it's taken, you know, 7 or 8 years to kind of, you know, get through the Earnhardt transition, and you know, that took 2, 3, 4 years. It was just a lot of things that you look back on now, and you know, it's that effect took a lot of time. And then as the grandkids, Austin and Ty came, you know, you really see that enthusiasm level come back that I first saw in Richard in '99, 2000. You know, as we led into the start of my career at RCR. So there's been a lot of change, and I think there was definitely a lull as a company that we had, you know, from 2002 to really probably, you know, I think the low light for us was probably 2009. But I think 10, 11, and you know, were solid years, and have built into a solid relationship, and I think the results on the racetrack with more wins, and you know, pretty much competitive week in and week out is something that you can see that comfort level with everybody, and it's just taken a while.
A young lady right here.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Genevieve with Skirts and Scuffs. I'm kind of curious because fans love rivalries and competition, but who do you really think is your bigger competition? Is it yourself, or is there someone else on the racetrack that you know, really compete with? Are you going to compete with Dale Jr. to hold him off again this year, or are you just going to?
Well, I think as you go through, you know, the races on a week-to-week basis, you know, obviously you guys can figure out the rivalry part of it, but I think, you know, for the most part, you wind up racing different guys every week, and sometimes they're the same guys that you race for wins, and so the competition is deep, and you never know who or when you're going to be in those positions to race for wins, and you know, race door to door with somebody on a weekly basis. But everybody in this deal is on the Cup side is good, and they've all won races, and so the competition is pretty deep. So you never know exactly who it is.
Right here, far back left corner. Go ahead, sir.
Jordan Canigliaro, WCYB. Kevin, what is your reaction to Bristol's announcement that they're changing the track service, and do you think that's necessary?
It's about time. Yeah, I think, you know, when sometimes, you know, you hear the saying, bigger isn't always better, or the grass isn't always greener on the other side. That's a prime example of the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and sometimes you can't make things better than they are. And you know, I'm proud of them for realizing that they have a problem. You know, a lot of guys would argue that you can change the tire and you can change this and change that, but you're still not going to have bent race cars and donuts on cars, and the things that people expect from Bristol still won't be there unless they put it back to how, you know, somewhat how it was. And I think, you know, after the last race there, I think they finally realized that what I've told them since the first day after the first race was they didn't like to hear it, but it wasn't Bristol, and hopefully they'll do a good job. And don't get me wrong, I mean, everybody has they had great intentions in mind and tried to make things better. And you know, sometimes when you can take that kick in the gut and say, well, we screwed up, and basically, you know, that's what they're saying, and just, you know, go start to backpedal a little bit is something that you got to respect as a businessman from Bruton and his organization, to just say, okay, we're going to fix this, and we're going to make it right for the race fans, and they know what the fans want to see. They had the most popular race for I don't know how many years, but a long time.
Let's go Nate Ryan. We're running a little short on time here. We'll go Nate Ryan. We'll go to over here to Steve, and then
Nate Ryan, USA Today. I'm just curious. You talked about the things you're doing at the house. What do you have to do to baby-proof your house for your kid?
Well, right now they're working on nurseries and playrooms, and the backyard has been completely dismantled, and it's a pile of dirt now. So we've taken out swimming pools and all kinds of stuff to start working in that direction. So everything from baby gates to dingers on elevators to you name it. There's a lot that's been changed. So it's been fun though. It's fun to walk up there and see his clothes sitting in the closet and know that it's real and come in that direction pretty fast. Time's going by pretty quick already. Oh no, we won't tear that up. We're trying to make sure that there's plenty of trails and things for him to be able to. He's got plenty of room to spread out as he grows up, for sure.
Dingers on elevators?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve Richards, PRN. As far as your paint scheme's concerned, going back to Prohibition, how would you handle that if you were living back then, life without beer? How would you handle that?
We'd have to go get it somewhere else. You'd have to find out where it was. So, yeah. So it's obviously with the car this weekend and everybody from Budweiser on April 7th celebrates the anniversary of Prohibition is something that's pretty cool to be a part of, and to go back in history and see how many people put back in work and the enthusiasm and the Clydesdales and everything that 1933 brought back to the beer industry was something that is pretty cool to go back in history and just kind of learn a little bit about it. So it's fun to do programs like this and to draw a little bit of a little bit of awareness to it and be a part of it.
Could you imagine the celebration, being a part of that?
Could you imagine? I mean, just stop and think about it. Could you imagine the world with no beer? I mean, what would you do? I mean,
what would you do?
What would you do at night? What would you do? What would you do? Period. It's a good hydrator for you if you need to keep yourself hydrated this weekend.
So what would you do?
What would I do? I'd find something to do, but it wouldn't be near as much fun. I know it wouldn't be near as much fun for Ray.
Don't ever say those words again.
Ray is a great customer.
Melinda Adams, ESPN. Quick non-NASCAR related question. Your pick for the Final Four winner?
My bracket's so screwed up, I don't even know who's in it, but I know I picked Kentucky, so I know they're still in it, so I'll just stick with them.
Thank you.
Last question right here, Patrick.
Patrick Laban, NASCAR Media Group. Kevin, a few weeks out, we'll be in Richmond. You had some success there with a win. Could you talk about what does it take to be successful at Richmond?
Yeah, Richmond's been a great racetrack for us through the years, no matter what vehicle it's been in. It's just one of those racetracks, and now it's really wore out. The asphalt's losing a lot of grip, and you really have to manage the tires and get your car consistent through a long run. But it's just been a racetrack that fits my driving style and the package and of the engine and the cars and the setups and things that we do at RCR, and we've been fortunate to have a lot of success through the years there. So we're definitely looking forward to going to Richmond and trying to continue that success and run just like we did last time and win a race, hopefully.
Kevin, thanks a lot. And good
Thank
luck
you.
this weekend.
Thanks.